Welcome back to the 13th episode of this 1966 C10 to 2001 Tahoe frame swap. As always, go ahead and watch the other episodes, get caught up to where we are now. And thank you everyone who's watched and subscribed. We're at 900 subscribers now, very close to our 1,000 subscriber mark. Anyway, in this episode, we continue getting the body prepped for the clear coat. We scrub everything down, get all of the surface rust off, ready for that clear coat to go on. We spray the inside of the cab white. We get the dash welded back in, get that ready, get painted. We paint the doors white. We do the first attempt at starting the engine since we put it all back together. We get the windshield seal back onto the windshield, get that ready to go back in. So at this point, we're just days away from getting the cab and the rest of the body panels back onto the frame and start get everything else, all the other peripherals ready to actually drive this thing down the road. So we're getting so close to that big milestone of being able to pull this out of the garage. So we're getting really close. So just stick around another couple more episodes and we'll be driving this thing around. Thank you guys for watching. Today I would like to get this upper and lower radiator hose shortened and onto the truck. So I'm going to cut it here. I'm going to cut out this section from here to here, and we're going to start with that and see what it looks like. Let's see how this looks on there. Might take a little bit more out of this to bring it closer this way. Still needs more out of it. Just gonna cut it up again. So I got this like this for right now. Could maybe take a little bit more out of here, but for now, that'll work. And then, at least for testing purposes, till we get the front end on, I can really see where all this stuff is gonna lie. So next thing to do is to try to get this bottom one, go from the bottom there up to here. So we will see how that goes. Okay, I was able to get that lower rad hose on there. Also got this steam port line hooked up here. Okay, today I got a couple hours. I would like to try and get this power steering cooler installed, and as well as this transmission cooler installed. So I think I'm just going to use those zip tie thingies. Get just like that. Have the lines go kind of down and then backing around to the transmission, and this will just come under, up, and then back over there to the power steering pump. So try to get this going here. I'm gonna first just mark out some lines on the bottom because I have to cut some holes to put those lines through. Okay, I made some marks where we need to cut to fit those lines through. So I'm just gonna take this off, bring it to the table and get that cut out, and then we can get everything secured back on. Okay, I'm just going to pull this radiator off so we can cut that stuff, and then we'll put it back on and hopefully be pretty much for the last time. Okay, just going to cut these things out now. Okay, I got these 4 things cut out so we can put the lines to these coolers there. So I'm going to go ahead and put the radiator back on for hopefully the last time. Bolt that down, get those coolers mounted to the front of it, get those strapped down, put the fans back on. Hopefully we'll be done with this radiator completely. Alright, gonna put this transmission cooler on first. See where we can go from here. Just want to connect these lines so I'll have good access here, and I'm putting them in this heat protective stuff too, just to be safe. Okay, I got the fans back on, I got everything bolted back down. We got our lines going to the transmission, lines going to the power steering pump. We got everything bolted down, so I'll show you the coolers on the front once we put it back up there, but it's finally ready to go back on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Okay, we got the trans cooler on the left and the power steering cooler on the right. So all that stuff is already down and secured. Just gonna connect all the lines. Should be done with this portion now. We got the trans lines routed right here, going down into the trans over here. And then we also got the power steering lines hooked up here, 1 and 2, which go down and under to the cooler up here. I'm gonna try to fix up this dash now. This is the replacement one that I got, but when someone was trying to take it out, I guess they thought you cut straight down the middle with an angle grinder. I don't know, but this is the worst of the damage on this dash here. So I'm just gonna try to do a couple little spot welds, grind this smooth, and then just kind of prepare it to get ready for paint. It's gonna get painted white with the rest of the interior. Okay, just gonna try to do a couple little spot welds. Okay, that was the first round of welding. I'm gonna grind this down now. Looks like we only got one little pinhole there that we need to fill. Other than that, not too bad. It'll also be covered with Bondo. Well, the split's gone, but it's still gonna need some Bondo and whatnot. The only other big thing that I really care about is trying to get this dent out a little bit. So I might hit that from behind a couple times. So this is the back side of the dash where that dent is. My plan is to use this socket and kind of put it over like that and smack down onto it and try to get that dent out a little bit. I'm gonna heat it up first. We'll see how good we do here. This is what it looks like before. See if we can get any of that out before we go the Bondo route. Actually came out quite a bit. Well, not perfect, but it did come out quite a bit. Here it is after. You can still definitely see it, but it's gonna get covered. Just wanted to get that pulled out as best we could there real quick. I think I'm going to kind of grind this down a little bit. Basically strip the rust off of it, but it gives it kind of like a nice brushed look that I kind of like, but I'm just gonna kind of go over this real quick. Well, tonight I was able to get the dash all the way down to bare metal. So it's all bare metal now, and also fixed that little split that was here. Banged out this dent a little bit. So I guess the next time we work on this dash is gonna have to be doing some Bondo, fixing some of this stuff, sanding it down, getting it ready to paint. Then I also have to get the inside of the cab ready to paint also, because that's all gonna be white. So today I'm gonna take apart this door a little bit because we need to scuff up the inside of the door because that's getting painted white with the rest of the interior. Just gonna go ahead and take these mirrors off first. I don't really like these mirrors. They're actually Ford mirrors. So I wanna get these off. Take them off right now just so I can lay it flat on this workbench. Okay, time to throw my back out, lifting this up onto here. Oh, shit. Remember, lift using only your back and a twisting, jerking motion. Jeez, wow. I did not know this door was this bad on the bottom. Jeez. We're just gonna have to pull a derrick and pretend we never saw that because that's bad, but I don't have anything to do with that. Try to take this door panel off. These two are just spinning in their holes and it not allowing the door panel to come off. I guess we have to drill those two out. Okay, you drilled those two out. Able to take this off. Stuff is pretty rusty. This hall window regulator needs to be replaced for sure. Okay, I'm gonna vacuum up some of this stuff and then I'm going to just disassemble the whole inside components of the door and then we'll kind of get it ready for paint. Okay, see if we can get some of these bolts out. Guess I should take some pictures. I always think I'm gonna remember how it goes back together, and I never do. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this vent window out first. I think we have to do that first, then take out the glass, then we can get the regulator out, then we can get this door link out here. So let me try to undo these for the vent window. Here we go. We're gonna have to rebuild these. Okay, I think now we can roll the window up. Okay. Just gonna drop this straight into our rust bucket over there. Okay, now I think I can take the window regulator out. Actually, I should be able to take this out now, maybe. Maybe I have to take this, there's a track in here I have to take out first, I think. Okay, there's that track. There's the door linkage. Put this in the rust tank, and I'll probably buy new everything else. Okay, for the window regulator, a couple of these here that come out. These ones are coming out pretty easy, but there's one here that's rusted. That one's completely rusted. Maybe we can get it with vice grips. If not, we're gonna have to weld a nut to it. Okay, it's turning. Got that out. Could maybe put new wheels on this, grease it up, all that crap, but I think it's just so much better just to buy a new window regulator. I just want this all to work perfectly. Windows, doors, all that stuff, especially since we won't have AC for a while, so we really need our windows to go down. We just have the door hinges left and then the front door handle, and then I think it's completely disassembled. Okay, I got everything taken out of this door, all of the internals, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the driver's side door, and then these can be sanded and painted along with the interior. This is really bad, but we're just not going to do anything about this right now. I don't really think the only way to fix this is to buy a new door for like $700, which I'm not doing right now. So eventually, but for now, we're just gonna have to ignore that, get it working properly, enjoy it for a while, and then deal with kind of this other stuff. More of the same for the driver's side door. So the problem with this door is that this window crank is not doing anything when I turn it. So I have to try to pry the window down so I can get the vent window out, then put the window back up so I can get the window out. Maybe it's starting to, oh. I almost wanted to grab for a second. Okay, vent window out. Now I need to get the window all the way back up so I can slide it. Oh, maybe not. Cool. Okay, got the window out. Put this in the rust bath. Gonna try to sand down the inner of this door so we can get it prepped for paint. This is gonna get painted white along with the rest of the interior. Well, I'll save you the torture of watching me do that again, and you just have to take for granted I did the other door as well. Okay, I'm gonna start scrubbing down all these parts that are gonna get clear coated with some of that SOS steel wool pad and some soap and water. So we'll kind of see how this comes out. Hopefully it reveals some blue. This might not have any blue left, but on some of the parts that do, it has been, on some of the test panels I've done, it has revealed some more blue. That's really what we're trying to do here. Reveal blue and smooth this all out so the clear lays down smooth. So I'm gonna rinse this off real quick. So it might be hard to see on camera, but if there is any blue, it'll come through. A lot of these are actually blue. Can't really see it on camera, but some blue poking through here, a little bit here. Now some of these parts have been exposed to the sun for the past 60 years. There's not gonna be any blue left. Like up here, like the whole hood, basically the tall top there. But like here, we got blue coming through. Here's some blue. So hopefully it will look nice, have a nice patina look. But yeah, I just have to do this to all the parts, scrub it down, hopefully reveal some blue. But if anything, it just flattens out the surface so that clear will lay down smooth and not on top of surface rust really. So I'm just using these SOS steel wool pads, get off some of the surface rust and reveal more of that blue. And this is the passenger side fender, which came out almost entirely blue. So I think this will look really good once we get the clear coat on. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other fender now and then move on to some of the other front end parts. We're gonna move on to this driver's side fender. You can see a lot of this surface rust here. Hopefully a lot of that will come out with the steel wool pads. Trying to reveal as much blue as possible. Okay, we can see how much of that rust came out and how much blue is left. I'm thinking this is coming out really good. Excited to see what this looks like on the truck. Here's the before on this front support. This one already has a lot of blue poking through, so that's pretty good. Gonna smooth it all out. Should be good to go. Here's what this one looks like after. This one does have a lot of the original blue left. So far so good. I'm just worried that the hood's gonna be entirely rust, and so is the top of the truck. Wish it had some blue on those parts. So this grill was originally white, but it's mostly rusted out. I don't know if any of this white's really gonna come back. We'll give it the same treatment, see what happens. Well, we did get some white to come through, but of course it's on the bottom side where the sun didn't beat on it all those years. So this top side, barely, a little bit white pop through. I do have some stickers for here, so I'm gonna have that Chevrolet be nice and bright white and then clear over that. So I think this grill is as good as we are gonna get it. Got some more parts here to scrub down. These panels I actually already did. These are my test panels, so I got pretty much all the blue out that I could there. I'm just gonna go over them real quick. Glove box door. So after this, I think I'm gonna do the actual doors over there, and then pretty much just the cab is left. At least we got some blue on those panels. These headlight bezels didn't really change much. A little bit of white popped through in a couple places. Just kind of smoothed out that ashtray cover. So here's one of the doors. I'm really hoping some blue comes out here, which I think it might. So we're gonna get to scrubbing this. It's one of the bigger parts. Hopefully this has a good outcome. Definitely have some blue coming through. So the red is actually primer, so we can't go past that, but we can get some of the surface rust off, get as much of that blue out as we can. Just have to be careful because we don't want to take off any blue paint. Here's that door after. We did get some blue to come through, also some primer, that's okay. Got some of that surface rust off, some blue poking through. I think that will be just fine. Gonna do the other door now. Same process, so I'm just gonna show you the before and after on this one. Okay, here it is after. Got some blue out in this door also. Alright, just spent a bunch of time painting stuff nobody will see again. Bumpers are done, door panels are done, the inside of the door panels that is. Okay, today we got both the doors, got the fenders, got the grill, all this stuff ready for clear coat. We got the bumpers ready for clear coat and also painted the inside of those. Got the inside of the door panels rust proofed, and then got the other side ready for clear coat as well. So all we have left to prepare is the cab, the hood, and the bed, the three biggest parts, but hopefully we can do maybe one or two of those tomorrow. A thank you to Drew. We got the dash welded back in, and I ground down most of the welds here, so the dash is officially back in. Still need to finish up some body work and get that painted. Another angle of the dash. Okay, I'm going to scrub down the back side of this cab. Okay, I think tonight is the night that we try to start this engine up for the first time since we redid all the gaskets and painted it and did all that stuff. It'll be the first time using the Holley Terminator X, so I kind of got it just wired up here very temporarily, and I'm using the ignition switch out of the car, Terminator. Got to try to go through the setup on it, and I think it's going to be ready to go. I am going to add some water to it just so it can pump through some water, and also adding some power steering fluid because I don't want that pumping dry as well. Okay, we got some water in there. That'll be good for us to check for leaks also. Put some power steering fluid in next. Of course I overfilled it. Alright, I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but I guess we'll figure out as we go along here. Plugging in the main power harness right now. Okay, I'm going to turn the key here. This turned on. Please run the wizard. Okay. I gotta figure out what the part number on my injectors is. Please cycle the ignition. Started. Some oil burning off, looks like. Very smoky, but maybe we try one more time. So the other night we were able to get this started for the first time since we redid some stuff and got it back in here, and the first time running on the Terminator X, fired right up. The only problem was this brand new alternator, AC Delco, was overcharging the battery and it was running at like 19 volts. So I put back on this old remanufactured one that came with the engine, and now it's charging perfectly. So I'm going to try to return that other alternator, get a new one that looks a little bit cleaner than this one. So today I have a friend coming over who paints cars for a living, and he's going to help me paint the inside of this cab white along with the dash and the inside of the doors. So I'm excited to get that going. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of get some stuff prepped. But before we do that, I really need to get this workbench cleaned up and this whole area a little bit more organized because it's stressing me out a little bit. All right, that's better. Feel a little bit better now. So yesterday we were able to get the doors painted up. So now they're nice, fresh white. They look pretty good. Also the inside of the cab is painted other than the dash. That's what we need to work on today, is sanding down the dash because right now it's primered. Sanding down these corner pieces, getting those ready for white paint also. And then also sanding the roof a little bit, getting that ready for clear coat. So just a lot of sanding today. And I also want to try to get the windshield seal onto the windshield so that can start forming to the windshield, and hopefully it'll be easier to get that in here because I know that that can be quite a project. So I'm going to try to get the seal on this windshield, which is a little premature. We probably won't be putting the windshield in for another week or two, but from what I've read, if you get it onto the windshield earlier, the better, so it can form to the windshield. So that's what we are going to try to do right now. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Well, that timed out, so had to be longer than 30 minutes, but I got to the very end in like 15 minutes, and then it just took probably another 20 minutes to get this corner in because it was so tight. So now I'm just gonna let it sit in the sun and hopefully it can take this shape a little bit. So I think I'm going to end this episode here. We didn't accomplish the goal of getting the cab back onto the frame, but the reason why we're not doing that right now is because we still need to get the dash painted and we still need to clear coat this cab. And I also would like to get the windshield back in while it's out. I feel like that would be a lot easier to do while we have all this access. So we could put the cab back on right now, but I think it would just hinder us in the future at a couple of things that we need to get done. But we did get a lot done. We got the dash welded back in. This inside is painted white. Looks great. We just need to paint this dash white. It is primered. Looks like a brand new dash. Got the doors painted white on the inside, and everything except for the bed is ready for clear coat. So the next couple of days I think we'll be clear coating a lot of stuff. We got the engine fired up, runs good. Just need to get the exhaust on there. So at this point we're very close to getting the cab and the rest of the body back on. Then we can focus on the steering, the brakes, the throttle cable, all that other stuff. We got to put a whole new wiring kit in this also, so every wire on this truck will be brand new. So we have a lot to go, but we're finally getting to a point where we can see a little bit of light at the end of this tunnel. And no, this is not going to stay like this. I do not like this setup that I bought on Amazon. I thought this was a lot smaller and it just doesn't, it's just not good. So we're going to be doing something with that in the future too. I'm going to end it here. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Catch you guys in the next one.